Hey guys, we're going to work on number 17 where we're looking at row operations with matrices. And so I wanted to have a little bit more wiggle room on my review. So 17 and 18 we're going to do on the extra sheet of paper. So 17A has us doing the row swap. So when you see this command, it really just says these two are going to trade places, and that's it. So then it's 1, 4, 8, 3, 5, 3. Now the next command says part B on the review says it wants you to do -3 times row 1 plus row 2 will become the new row 2. So I did like how we saw going off to the side and doing the math here. So that would be -3 times your whole top row. That's this guy. So that would give me -3, -12, -24, and row 2, because we're going to add it to row 2, would be 3, 5, and 3. And we're going to add those together. That gives us 0. That gives us -7, and that gives me -21. And that becomes the new row 2. This will always be which one changes. 0, -7, -21, row 1 stays exactly the same. And that's all we were tasked to do in part A and B. So number 18 is a little bit more complicated. 18, it gives us a matrix, and it says solve the system by Gauss Jordan. So that's reduced row echelon form. So put it in the matrix. 2, 4, 8, 1, -3, -1. Now I do have some choices here on this problem. I could do a row swap. I do want to make sure we're all aware of what our goal is. Remember, the goal is 1, 0, 1, 0, and numbers. And this was step 1. This was step 2, step 3, and step 4. So let's get started. I have some flexibility. I could do a row swap since that is a 1, or I could see that all my all my top numbers are divisible by 2. And so I'm going to go with that way. It really is totally your prerogative. So 1/2 row 1 will become the new row 1. So all I'm really doing is dividing all these by 2. And so you're dividing all of the previous elements by 2. So then that becomes 1, 2, 4. This stays the same, 1, -3, -1. And so now I have step 1 done. I need to get this to be a 0. So that would be -1 times row 1 plus row 2 would be the new row 2. Row 1 stays the same. And again, it seems like it helps y'all to do the work. So -1 times this whole top row. So that would give me -1, -2, -4. We're going to add that to row 2. 1, -3, -1 would give me 0, -5, -5. So then that becomes 0, -5, -5. You just put that into your row 2. So I have step 1, step 2. I need to get that to be a 1. So I have to multiply by a reciprocal to get a 1. Row 2 will become the new row 2. So row 1 stays exactly the same, 1, 2, 4. However you want to do it, but you're really just dividing all these by -5. So that would give me 0, 1, and 1. So I did step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now I need to get that to be a 0. So I do multiply and add to get zeros. So I'm going to multiply by -2 row 2 plus row 1 will give me the new row 1. Row 2 stays exactly the same, 0, 1, 1. And now I'm going to multiply all of row 2 by a -2. So that'd be 0, -2, -2 plus row 1, 1, 2, 4. That would give me 1, 0, 2. So then I get 1, 0, 2. So I get the answer of 2, 1. And so we can use the graphing calculator to confirm this. And I think, so second matrix, go to edit. I think I already put this one in, 2 by 3, it's right there. So I have 2, 4, 8, 1, -3, -1. I already had it in there. Second quit, second matrix, go over to math, go up to RREF, go back into the matrix, last time, grab and hit enter, and I get the same answer I got right here. So I did it correctly.